people are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Welcome to What's Left podcast on the Derealization Nation Media Network.
I can't afford Mountain Dew! Okay? The economy's rough right now! Obama!
Miners, I love miners.
And now, your hosts.
That's right. Welcome, What's Left podcast, Derealization Nation Media. Here on YouTube, Substack, wherever you find us. Like, subscribe, rate us, do all the things. Help push us out into the algorithm because the stuff we talk about doesn't get out there without your help. It's getting out there, so that's thanks to you. Guys, there's a lot to talk about, but one of the things that we're going to talk about all of it because this idea that like maybe one thing distracts from another. We've seen a lot of this. See some of it in the comments, even like just talking about like, it's one thing a distraction, one thing it isn't. I think what we've learned over the past 10 years of Trump, and this is just my opinion, but I think that we have learned that like the point is to overwhelm the news cycle, right? The the fire hose of bullshit, the Steve Bannon plan to flood the zone is what they do. The idea here is just to keep a fire going so big that you can't really put it all out at once. You don't know. Like the point is to keep us putting out fires all over the place. So you can stoke one and put out another, stoke another, put out one, and just try to keep people skipping and fetching all over the place. And I think that's kind of the whole point. So I don't want to miss anything. So what I want to start with is the fact that Trump was in the Epstein files along with Vladimir Putin, who likely has leverage over Trump because of these files, tells us that Putin has said that this winter there'll be no bombing of Ukraine's infrastructure for the next couple weeks, and then immediately, within hours, bombs civilian infrastructure in Ukraine with one of the largest strikes we've seen since the war began. Guys, could it be any more obvious how compromised this fucking loser is?
And we're not even gonna bat an eye at this. Like,
No.
Most Americans aren't even picking up this story at all.
No. This is
They're
way
too
under
worried about the TPUSA halftime show, and they got a lot going on.
Yeah, Bob Ritchie's playing, Jake. Are you excited for that?
I don't know who that man is.
Kid Rock. You know his name was Bob?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, they want to have a more family-friendly halftime show with lyrics about pimps and suck my dick and I don't know, that whole
Only because this happened organically, I'm going to quote Kid Rock lyrics at the head of this Turning Point headliner at the Turning Point halftime show. The Christian majority lyrics of Kid Rock's.
right.
Young ladies, I like them underage. See, some say that's statutory, but I say it's mandatory. Those are lyrics from a Kid Rock song, The Party of Christian Values. That's a fucking joke, right? You guys are fucking embarrassing.
They're fucking embarrassing. This show is coming together better than I could have possibly hoped for. Like it's literally not a bunch of stories. It's one fucking story that we're telling here. 100%.
Yeah.
And so sticking on the compromised nature of our foreign relations. Of course, our biggest puppeteer is Israel, right? They have him by the short and curlies. They lead him whichever way they want to go. They did more bombing today, killed a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old. I believe it is 4 or 5 more people, but it's every day. But the bombings are bombing tents, using F-35s. This is military companies using the Middle East, as they always have, as a testing ground for their weapons, for their toys, for their products, for their spy products, for their weapons products. They continue to do it. And they continue to do it with the United States help because literally every politician takes some money from some part of the military industrial complex. And that's a bit of an overstatement, but not by a whole hell of a lot. I'm going to show you a little bit more about that later on in the show. We're really going to dive into that. But just, guys on the whole Israel thing, like they clearly get to do whatever they want to do and are doing it.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, Israel's not stopping their plans at all.
If anything, it's ramped up.
Yeah, because now people are, if Donald Trump says there's a ceasefire, then the people that are pro Donald Trump are never questioning whether or not there's a ceasefire.
Yeah,
In their minds, Palestinians aren't being murdered by the hundreds.
no. $6 billion more, 6 billion with a B, billion more dollars was sent to Israel, bypassing Congress. Something that not just Trump has done. This is something that all presidents do. Um, but he did it. But Jake, is there any doubt in your mind that Congress would have passed that if you had put it in front of them?
No,
Zero, right?
zero. Not a chance.
What is it that they could do with the unanimous consent? How's that work?
Yeah, they can skip the vote in the Senate probably. Yeah, unanimous
Yeah.
consent. Nobody fucking said a word. It's sad, but it's true. It's pathetic, is what it is. Um, Even like you saw, so the ramping up these things with Iran, and whether or not it's actually related or not, it is. It just so happens that Iran comes out and says we have video of Trump in the Epstein files, or Trump with the underage girls or whatever, and it just so happens they start to ramp back talks just then, just at that moment, for whatever it's worth. I mean, there's no way we're not bombing Iran because Israel's got the fucking goods, and that's what they want. But it is fascinating to watch the way that whether it is real or imagined, these things seem to affect. These things are clearly affecting world matters. Um, and if you don't think that this shit really bothers Trump, let's uh let's take a look at Caitlin Collins asking Trump in the White House today about the Epstein.
The Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondence that he had with him. Did you read those new files that were published by the Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things. A lot of things I'm doing. I don't know. You mentioned two names. I'm sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them, entire witness interviews are totally blacked out. Do you think that they should be more transparent?
With the fact that they thought they released too much. I heard that, and you tell me something else. So, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, now that nothing came out about me, other than it was a conspiracy against me, literally, by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people
like
who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare
justice, Mr. President?
Something that people care about. Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead.
What would you say to
are
the
so
survivors
bad.
who feel like they haven't gotten
You are
justice?
the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. She's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile
Well,
on
I'm
your face.
asking you about survivors.
You know why?
of Jeffrey
You know why
Epstein,
you're not
Mr. President.
smiling? Because you're not telling the truth, and you're a very dishonest organization, and they should be ashamed of you.
These are survivors of a
Yeah, I mean, why aren't you smiling about the child sex rape that I did?
Because it's a conspiracy.
Yes, it's a hoax.
Yeah. Donald Trump's name is mentioned more in the Epstein files than Jesus, Lord, and God combined in the Bible.
Nice. Here's another one for you. Trump is mentioned more times in the Epstein files than Harry Potter's name in 7 whole books.
Uh,
Nothing to do with them, guys. Nothing
Yeah,
at all.
Conspiracy.
It's a fucking wild conspiracy. Conspiracy indeed. But theory it is not. Uh, that's the point. Like, yes, this is, I mean, if you were to charge this, like, it would have to be like a RICO case. And that's what they should do. They should start picking off the people lower down on the totem pole one by one and getting information out of them. And I am going to give some credit, not a lot, so don't hold your breath, to the Clintons for finally agreeing to testify publicly. Right now, oh, go ahead. You
I
first, because
can't wait for him to come out and plead the fifth, bro. I can't wait for him to come out and plead the fifth 8,700 fucking times. I know I'm just gonna get pissed off watching him do it. I know it.
I have a sneaking suspicion that's about to go the same way. Jake, any that you think they're going to come out and spill it all?
What if they do? Like, what if it's some crazy, like, they just come out and Bill just goes off? He gives
Did they
names, dates, if you can remember them, but like names, dates, and like people. That'd be crazy.
did
And
they've
like, what are
both
they gonna
taken
say?
rice and tablets? They both took rice and tablets before they walk in there if they start unveiling all that info. Because they're not trying to make it out, for sure.
So I guess so. Here's what my point is going to be: if they go in or they've demanded that it be public, and they know from experience they have seen many times Republicans have just canceled hearings because witnesses want to go public with their testimony. So they could be taking that gamble. They'd be taking that bet, playing a little bit of chicken. But I also do believe that it should be done publicly. So I'm not like against that idea. So I am going to give them credit for at least doing this bare minimum right thing. Because if you were in contact with this sex predator, and it is as bad as has been reported by people like fucking Howard Lutnick, who said he knew from the minute he walked in the door, right? From Julie K. Brown, who was reported on Epstein extensively, who said there was no way that people didn't know, then it is your fucking duty. It's the least you could do to tell people what you do or do not know, to at least clear the air. And for the Clintons to set the legal precedent. I mean, hello, how are you going to sit there and say, oh, Jim Jordan hasn't showed up for his subpoena, but also the Clintons don't have to? You can't, like, the both sidesism, the both sides argument that MAGA uses is stupid and ridiculous, and it does not make any sense. But you do not need to feed it for no reason. If you literally have nothing to hide, you should be begging, beating down the whole doors of Congress to. I know if I was accused in some way of being connected to Jeffrey Epstein, I would be there to tell you exactly how disconnected I actually am under oath. That would be like my first priority. I'd be on every television show. I'd be holding press conferences. And I don't know why anybody would not. So it doesn't make any sense to me to obfuscate. I'm glad they're not, but they also have a chance to be the hero, like you say, Jake. That would be hero. That would be hero behavior. Now they are genocidal maniacs who slash the budget for racist reasons to create a surplus to not spend on the American people, who brought Walmart into our lives and made those people billionaires. I mean, they've done a lot of damage to this country. But this would be hero ball.
There's no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way.
Knowing the moral rot that is the Clintons, I don't see it happening.
I just couldn't see them being decent human beings. I just can't fathom
I can't.
them being good people.
I don't see any evidence in the files they released of him being accused of rape by any of these girls. Certainly not accused of the same things that Trump is. Nowhere near that level of stuff, right? And I will give him that. But he's still, I mean, Monica Lewinsky was still disgusting. And she's not the only one, right? So he's still, they're not good. Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State under Barack Obama, and they did some bad shit. They did some bad shit, stuff I disagree with horribly. So I don't trust the moral fiber of the Clinton family to come shining through.
They just have to let out a couple sprinkles.
That's it,
Just a
bro.
little, just enough for him to start getting investigated, just enough for like,
Something. You had to see something. You know, Bill was out of the golf course with that guy who runs his mouth apparently all the time. Like Trump said something to Bill at some point that was disgusting, and Bill could say at least that much. You know what I mean?
right.
Oh, dude, they're protecting the presidents. If a president was involved in that, they're going to protect him. Doesn't matter if it's a current one or a former one.
Again,
Bill
that's why
Clinton
this
is not. It's
that's
why
why
there's still millions of redacted files.
for sure.
Millions of files we haven't been exposed to.
But Clinton showing up for this is a good precedent too, because it means that like in the future, should Congress call Trump to testify post presidency, he doesn't have the excuse of being like, "Well, Bill Clinton didn't do it. I'm not doing it."
Post presidency, how long are we talking about, brother? I
I'm
was
ho-
thinking
I'm praying
JD
for
Vance will be
March.
in by 27.
I'm praying for March. That's my hopeful thought. There's because there's a little slight rumblings of that of an impeachment moving before then. So they're the margin's close. We're down to one seat in Congress. It's one seat, one seat Republican majority now.
Crazy how that works.
It is, man. And honestly, like it doesn't matter if it works or not. Okay, so before you type that comment, just hold on. If it's not too late, if I haven't lost you already, it doesn't matter because you need to have these fucking hearings. You can have the trial all the way to the time that you have a chance to win the Senate, but you need to start getting this information into the news cycle uh, more effectively. And impeachment gives you that opportunity. Bring people in under oath, get some evidence, prove to people the corruption, and that you're serious.
The Democrats could sweep the midterms if they would just take a hard stance against genocide and pedophilia, and they're struggling right now.
I know. It's like what a Sophie's choice they've got.
Yeah, look, dude, just oppose these two things, win in a landslide, and they're like, I don't know if we'll do that. Actually,
Well, you know what? That's a good transition. Let's talk about why they probably will not. Because, so first, in order to do that, first we got to talk about the fact that there are funding for DHS has been extended for a couple of weeks. Basically, the only thing they're asking for now is masks to be off and officers to identify themselves and wear body cams. So, having negotiated against himself, Chuck Schumer has lost to himself several of the demands. But we'll see how it plays out. But for now, it's funded. But the reason they're not hard, the reason it's hard to find Democrats who are hardlined against this is because so many of these people take money from the same folks, and they do it in creative ways. It's not that they just take the money directly from Palantir; they often do. But they also take money from, say, BlackRock, and BlackRock provides money for different things. And so we're going to take a little bit of a deeper dive into that. So Jake, go ahead. First, put up some of that picture of that kid for me real quick. Just some of the things that are going on inside of these detention centers are just vile. Um, so this is from Rachel Barnett. A 2-year-old boy was breastfeeding in detention. One 6-year-old boy had leukemia. An 8-year-old girl began wetting the bed. A 14-year-old girl engaged in self-harm. None of these children or their parents had a criminal history anywhere in the world. This is from the New York Times, right? There are hundreds of children being held in detention centers who are being treated to a lifetime of trauma on behalf of the U.S. government. You've got over 1,200 people missing from Alligator Alcatraz. You've got constant, all kinds of reports already of torture and abuse and just shitty conditions, impotable water, uh, toilets that don't flush, just unlivable conditions for people who have not committed crimes. And throw in a mix of U.S. citizens because what do they care? And if the idea that if and it is true that these companies are testing these products in Israel to bring back to the United States, what they did in Israel was use AI as plausible deniability to say, oh, we were going after a target in the AI database and people got hurt. It was AI's decision, ultimately. AI makes the decision. And they're building a giant AI database of me and you and every other motherfucker on the planet. So anybody that they decide is a terrorist, who could be just about anybody, clearly, right? Not a theory anymore. We've seen it happen multiple times. Um, Anybody could be swept up in this thing. Um, let's go through who is profiting from detention centers. So Jake, give us a slideshow. This is crazy stuff here. I mean, it's just prepare to be a little bit sick, right? Keep in mind, a lot of these people too. These are people with direct connections to to Epstein, his group. This is how they view themselves as above the law because they are above the law. So when Donald Trump initiated, this is from Perfect Union, by the way, which is a great follow on any social media platform. When Donald Trump initiated his crackdown on immigration, private corporations rejoiced. An executive chairman at Geo Group, ICE's top contractor, called it an unprecedented opportunity. Donald Trump's big beautiful bill allocated 170 billion additional taxpayer dollars, that's mine and your dollars, to immigration and border enforcement, ICE's already bloated budget. In 2025, ICE handed out at least 3.9 billion dollars in federal contracts. This is money going to corporations, private corporations. 3.9 billion dollars. So here are some of those corporations. Top corporate collaborators: Amazon, Whole Foods. Quit using Amazon, for the love of God. Target, number two. Palantir, of course. Every single major hotel chain. Home Depot, Lowe's, AT&T, Aramark. Aramark sells food at every stadium you've ever been to. They also provide prison food. Uh, Eastern Airlines, Global X, Omni Air, Flock Systems, Dell Computers, UPS, FedEx, Motorola Solutions, LexisNexis, also prisons, Thomson Returns or Thomson Reuters. So all these companies provide uh, necessary infrastructure to ICE. They are receiving your taxpayer dollars on top of everything else. If you look at Amazon and Target, they receive your taxpayer dollars because they don't pay their employees enough money to eat.
Oh,
Yeah, I told you, get ready to be mad. Get ready to be mad. So this is Geo Group. It's this is a video that I did not download, but Geo Group is another corporation set up, smaller corporation set up that just skyrocketed in value. And there are several of these. This particular one is a monitoring. It's a monitoring and surveillance company. You can go to the next one, Jake. So this is Geo Group. Uh, they awarded $1.2 billion to this company to reopen a migrant detention center. In November, The Intercept reported that ICE had hired immigrant hunting bounty hunters from Geo Group. That contract cost $121 million. The company reported second quarter earnings of $636.2 million in 2025, a 5% increase when compared to the same period in 2024. All on your taxpayer dime. Did you know about that? No. Did several congresspeople? Absolutely. Core Civic. Core Civic is another big private prison company that works with ICE. In 2022, Core Civic made almost $560 million from ICE contracts. Since President Trump took office, the company has seen a 55% increase in ICE detention contracts, now totaling over $680 million. Your dollars. Going to Core Civic. Did you ever heard of Core Civic? Of course you
nope.
haven't. You know who has? Your fucking senator. This is truly one of the most exciting periods of my career with the company, says the CEO of Core Civic, who you've never heard of before, but probably makes a fucking seven-figure salary. As of 2023, more than 90% of people held in ICE detention were housed in privately owned facilities, as opposed to state arrests who hold people in public facilities.
We talked about this. It's the prison industry.
Industry. It's a whole industry. It's being expanded hugely. So here's our everybody's favorite villain. I'm glad they're out from under the shadows here. In April, ICE paid Palantir $30 million to create an immigrant surveillance platform. Palantir's contracts with the federal government have grown from 4.4 million in 2009 to $970.5 million in 2025. From 4.4 to $970.5 million in 2025. Do you know what happened in 2029? After Jeffrey Epstein's conviction in 2008, he got into the tech sector and started contacting people like Peter Thiel and all the rest of these guys and started looking into surveillance equipment specifically. That's when
Yes.
this took off. Coincidence? If you say so.
Peter Thiel is confirmed by the Epstein files to have exchanged multiple emails with Jeffrey Epstein post his conviction. And do you know how he's being punished for that? Palantir stock rose 7% today.
While everything else was.
While everything else was in the pooper.
Yep.
Palantir stock went up 7%. We just found out that he's having conversations with a convicted child predator, and they reward him, or they punish him by raising his stock price 7% in a day.
Yep. So this is Palantir CEO Alex Karp, the highest paid executive at any publicly traded company this year. Karp, we featured on this show a couple of times, high as a motherfucking kite, bouncing around, acting like a fool. He got $6.8 billion in compensation actually paid in 2024. $6.8 billion to this fuck up. That guy. Do you know what he does with it too, guys? He owns more houses that are technically just ski resorts than any human being on the planet. He buys ski resorts, shuts them down, and creates his own private property on them. So he alone is contributing just by himself. His salary contributes to the housing crisis here in this country. That's facts.
He is the corporation buying up single family.
He's one of them.
He's the corporation. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's no fucking lie. And so this is the two-tiered system that exists in this country. It's not the system. It's not the side that Trump says he's on. Like I've said this many times, but like it's a pay-to-play system. Think about how many things are pay-to-play: education, the law, right?
Healthcare.
Like,
yeah.
This country is pay-to-play. Everything is behind a paywall, except for this podcast. But I hate this shit. And that is really on a serious note. Like that's one of the main reasons that like I truly believe, no matter what it means about us becoming a profitable company, that is an important principle to stand on, because information should not be hidden behind a paywall. Education should not be hidden behind a paywall. Healthcare, public services should not be hidden behind a paywall. And if that makes me a fucking communist, I don't give a fuck. Okay. Like I don't care what you call me, but I believe that. And I believe that thoroughly. And I don't think that that's radical in any way. I think what is radical is the idea that you think that Alex Karp deserves 17 fucking ski resorts for a home. I think that's radical.
Yeah. That's the radical position. Like food, clothing, and shelter for every person is not a radical.
No,
it's not radical.
It's bad for my generation, for our generation, Brad. It's worse for Jake's generation, Gen Z. Like, honestly, like, does the word communist even like mean anything to you?
No.
You care less, right? Just as long as it's not the current system.
I'm more focused on me feeling bad about spending $20 on my hobby, where this man is buying full ski resorts for his hobby. That's crazy. I'm like, no, not another $20 on a book. Oh, one more ski resort. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't even think about it. He just does it because he can.
Most people that would call me a communist or a socialist could not define either one if we gave them a month.
Yeah. No, definitely not. So I know what I am, and I know I'm not a communist, I guess, but Marxism definitely has its ideology in my thinking. I'll give you that. So here's the guy we give all this money to. It's just in case you aren't angry enough. Okay, here's like the top 10 Alex Karp bullshits.
I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying. Our primary mission is, in fact, to set a global standard for the world for behavior. Our product is used on occasion to kill people.
This is drone targeting, or what is this?
Targeting of all kinds. You need to wake up scared and go to bed scared. Safe means that the other person is scared. So the primary source of death in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots.
You show me rates of anti-Semitism, I'll show you the health of your culture.
Do not treat all cultures as equal. We're going to either have AI and determine the rules, or our adversaries will have it and they'll determine the rules. There were unfortunately way too many people on October 7th who were happy. Palantir is here to disrupt and, when it's necessary, to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
Yeah. On occasion. Time to time.
You know,
sometimes you got to murder people. And so really, like, when you think about it like this, like, it should be no surprise to anybody the kind of, well, okay, some of the stuff in the Epstein files is beyond the pale. Some of that stuff, the cannibalism, that stuff, like, okay, holy fuck. But generally speaking, the idea that it's not far-fetched to think that billionaires are out here burying bodies because they don't want to be embarrassed. It actually fucking tracks perfectly with who they are, who they tell us they are.
Yeah. There are thousandaires that'll do that shit.
Yeah, that's the problem. People will do this shit for free thinking they're going to be a billionaire someday.
Evil is evil, right?
Yeah.
Now imagine if you had unlimited funds and were evil.
Yeah, I guess that testament, we're about to find out whether or not Bill Clinton was just a dick for free. All right, Jake, give us. I got a whole bunch of other ones here, just to work on the solidarity thing around here. Pick up this class war bullshit and put it down, because that's what the Epstein files are to me. It is evidence that the class war has been like, they psyoped half the country with this MAGA bullshit to distract them and keep them from, to allow this thing to happen. This isn't like happening by accident. All of this is calculated. The world order that they want this has all been pre-planned. They are all in this together. This is all a plan that they set together. Epstein was the link, the Neuralink that held it all together for a minute. But once they didn't need him, he became expendable and they fucking got rid of him. And now we're left with just this.
Now that a lot of this weird conspiracy stuff is starting to turn out to actually just be conspiracy, no theory, I've started, like, at least pondering on some of the ones I'm hearing now. Like, could it be? Like, could they be right?
Right. Who am I to say anymore? You know, maybe there really is stuff going on at Denver's airport. I just
Who
don't know.
knows?
I just don't know. I just don't know. Probably not the lizards, though. Probably not.
Listen, if you're gonna believe one from Denver, it's the lizard people.
Yeah. I don't know. I like lizards. I don't like people. I don't want those two things to cross paths.
I don't like my lizards with my people.
Yeah, I don't do that to lizards. Lizards are cool. Lizards would not make people more evil. They would make them much cooler. So that's my debunking of that theory. All right, we love a chart. We love a chart now and then. So here's growth and wealth inequality since 1976. Since Reagan. Let's just be blunt, like, 1980, since Reagan. And if you look, that yellow line there, that's the top 1%. The purple line is the 0.1%. The pink line is the 0.01%. And that green line headed into the dirt is me and you. That's us. Look at that shit. Look at how high it has spiked in the past even 20 years, since 2000. And see, this is the thing. Like, a lot of people like to blame, like, it's the globalist, the problem isn't that we started cooperating with partners globally. The problem is we did it at the expense of human rights, and that we didn't do anything for the people who had brought us the wealth and ability and access to these things in the first place. We didn't do anything to take care of these workers. They're like, get an education, but you're going to have to pay for it, and then we're going to bump up the price. Like, we could have shifted our economy to provide for nurses and doctors and scientists that just flooded the world with great thinkers and stopped doing labor altogether. But we chose instead to make a profit off of people struggling to send their children to college. because that's what capitalism does. You know what I mean? It's not about advancing society, it's about advancing the fucking focus of capital. Again, call me what you want. I just don't give a fuck. Like, we've just had enough. Look at those fucking spikes.
It's so simple to see. Like we could show them a million graphs, and they just people arguing in defense of billionaires will never make sense to me. No matter,
Mm,
there's not a person I know that's closer to being a billionaire than they are to being homeless. I'm certain of that, and
no.
I know a couple wealthy guys.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, even a wealthy person is far, far away from being one of those
yeah,
billionaires.
exactly. You need 1,000 millions.
It should be illegal to be a billionaire, period. This one says with FEMA gone, when communities are destroyed from natural disasters, billionaires can buy the land for pennies on the dollar. And the only part of DHS that did not get funded and that has been completely dismantled is FEMA. Uh, Elon Musk sacked 80% of the staff when he bought Twitter. Bezos sacked 14,000 people to replace with AI. Microsoft cutting 4.1% of jobs to replace with AI. Intel are cutting 25% of staff to replace with AI. So what's that about billionaires creating jobs? That's from Harry Eccles.
They only give jobs to people because it is necessary to keep the machine running. Once they found a way to supplement people with AI, those people no longer serve a purpose to them.
The lesson that should have been learned from taking labor overseas was that without guardrails, they will fuck everybody. Like nobody is exempt from the idea of this insane capitalistic charge for the maximum profit. Maximum profit means maximum profit. It doesn't matter how we get there. You are not exempt. You are not the capitalism doesn't love you, right? It's
Right.
not going to hold your job for you because you're special.
If you can be replaced by a machine that'll pay for itself in 2 years, you are gone.
So
See
yeah.
ya.
All right, what else? Oh, here you go. The Jeffrey Epstein experience. If you another thing that you can buy if you're a billionaire is your everybody's favorite podcast. So here are people who are in the Epstein files, good friends of Epstein, who went on Joe Rogan's show to gaslight him about the Epstein files and his 6 million person audience about the Epstein files, some multiple times. But you've got Peter Attia, Peter Thiel, Donald Trump, Lawrence Cross, Steve Pinker, Elon Musk. Elon Musk, he has on like every other, he still has Elon Musk on. Still has him on because he thinks he's a fucking genius or because he's getting paid. Because he's getting paid. It's because it's the other thing. It's the pay.
Right. It's the money.
There's not a
When in
principle.
doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a principled bone in his body. He made people eat fucking spider shit and cover them in snakes. He's not a principled human.
No, he's doing all this for money.
Fear factor, Jake.
And then gets to be like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Well, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
paid you to close your eyes to it.
Yep. That's why the whatever half-assed apologies or not even apologies don't do anything. Jake, why do you look so confused?
Who hosted Fear Factor?
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan,
No way.
Yeah. That's probably
you're not that young, bro.
I didn't know who he was. Like, I never paid attention. There's
the
people laying in snakes. I'm not paying attention to the name of the guy announcing it.
Fair enough.
And a name like Joe Rogan is not very memorable either.
Here's just an example too. So Meta, one of the ways that most people know that corporations donate more money than any one person is allowed to is by the creation of super PACs. Meta just dropped $65 million into a super PAC to boost tech-friendly state candidates. They do not care what party those candidates are from either. And it looks pretty innocuous to a lot of people to see Meta on there. Like, oh, Meta, I invested my 401ks in Meta. Doesn't matter, you know what I mean? But then you don't even see it if they go through a super PAC. It's like America loves America pack, you know?
this kind of thing, like you just said, they don't care about what political party. This is why the parties are the same, is because we allow super PACs to influence our Congress people to where whichever one is willing to accept the money, they give up their principles for cash.
Yeah,
If you take money out of politics, they have to hold on to something.
it is true. What is also true is that like they are paid to they use that money to convince us to be apathetic and to keep us from being more engaged. So people are less engaged in politics, and then they can run their show. And I mean, Meta obviously is one of the greatest creators of distractions. I mean, what better way to keep people disinterested in politics than to keep them fighting on Instagram so hot and heavy with each other, or just show them pictures of cats, whatever keeps you away from doing anything actionable. Here's something else you can do if you're rich. So when X failed as a business, XAI bought it. Now that XAI is failing, SpaceX can buy it. This is how these things work. They pass money back and forth to each other. It's not even real. It's just fake money.
It's all on credit. Everything's on credit on money that doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's like, there's, you know what? Margins calls. I'll save it for a different day. But I mean, even like the idea, like rich people can buy things with money they don't have. They can go into the store and be like, I have $2. Give me $10 worth of whatever. Like that's they have that ability. Like they do not have to show the cash. They can buy, especially with gold and stuff. But for a different time. Uh, I don't know. I don't know. That's stuck in there,
Oh,
but I'm glad it did.
it's
World's most,
incredible.
yeah,
It's
world's.
For
Elon
Look at that
Musk
guy.
is one of the biggest losers ever.
the audio listeners.
Yeah. The world's most divorced man, too big of a loser for pedo cabal invitation. And if you don't know, it's Musk. You can skip the next one too, Jake.
No, change that
Oh,
one. Angry.
all right, we're gonna leave you with this. Apparently, and I don't remember this, but back in 2018, Trump rolled out Coley, uh, the Department of the Interior's coal mascot. There he is in 2018. You can see the evolution of the world's dumbest mascot. Congratulations to Philly's weird hockey mascot. You are off the hook. We have this pile of shit, Coley, to represent clean, beautiful, cool, as Secretary of the Interior Doug Berman says he is mandated to call it. Coal being the most inefficient and way of creating energy outside of rubbing two sticks together. But here we are, you know, going back to the Flintstone era. Guys, what do you think of the newest?
Dude, Coley 2018 looks like a black meatwad from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Meatwad,
Yeah,
no.
that's absolutely him from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. They're just like, paint it black, call it Coley.
That's it. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is still pretty popular in 2018.
Yeah.
They really gave him the snatched waist. They really went for the hourglass.
Well, you know, Maha, baby. Maha. You know,
That's crazy.
that's fucking straight beef tallow and fucking raw milk right there. That's what that is. That'll do for you. Look at that fat piece of shit in 21, you know? Not anymore, baby.
Not anymore. We're back, baby.
He's on that RFK diet. This is fucking pathetic. A, because it will never work. No child is cares about cool. Secondly, it is diabolical because people die in coal mines and it is unnecessary and inefficient and just pollutes the planet for no fucking reason. It's like idling your diesel overnight for no reason whatsoever. It's a private jet. It's unnecessary fucking hole in the fucking ozone. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my
What does
gosh.
that hat say?
Mine, baby,
Mine, baby,
mine.
mine.
Holy Jesus. I hate these fucking people. I swear to God. Doug Burgum, also billionaire. Just saying. Just saying. No, I don't want to fall off theme.
I'm glad I got to pick those pictures.
Oh my God, that's horrendous. And on that note, I think we'll just I'm done. I'm done. Cooley is as much as I can handle. We've had it up to here today. So that's it. Thanks for watching, listening. Thanks for liking, subscribing. Thanks for pushing our stuff out into the atmosphere, baby, because without you, it doesn't happen. So thank you to the nation. It's growing every day, and we're proud of it. And it's because of you guys, you know. All we do is show up, and you guys do the rest. So thanks for everything. Um, I don't know. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
What if every year we just decided to get rid of the richest person in the world?